Hello, I am Jerome Braggs, an intuitive, and this is my first intuitive update. And it just so happens to be on a very auspicious day, which I think we're calling Tuesday. it's February 22nd of 2022. So that's 2/22/2222 on the date calendar. And I wanted to definitely come and do this on this day. Let this be my first intuitive update, because there's a lot that I've been getting from Source and from my guides around this particular day and what the message is for it and what we can expect in the next 30 days. So I want to come and kind of give this to you and share some of this with you. This particular day, I'm not going to go a lot into the meaning behind repeating twos in numerology or anything like that, because there's a lot of information around that already. You can look that up. You can Google that. There's many probably other intuitives and psychics out there doing a lot of information on that. But I wanted to share with you something that has come through me that I have not been hearing any other places, so that you get this information. So this video is going to be really focused on what the meaning is behind this particular energy portal for our development, for our soul growth, for our understanding and our expansion here on the planet. So this is a portal, and this portal is a quantum leap portal, meaning that we are going to be, the energy on the planet is going to be moving very fast after today. Now, the energy always speeds up every year. So source energy flows through us and flows through all living beings, through all consciousness on the planet. And in the universe, it flows this energy through each living consciousness on the planet and in the universe, so that this particular, for one, creation, but also each one of us is an aspect or a facet of source energy. And the purpose of our experiences here, the purpose of our incarnations here, the purpose of our lives here is to become more of the consciousness and the energy of source that we are. We're literally source consciousness and source energy embodied. You can call that your soul. Each of us has a unique, individuated aspect of source, which is the soul of us, and that's the essence of who we are. And our real purpose here on the planet is to become more of the essence of our soul here. And that essence is love. It is unconditional love, the consciousness and the energy of unconditional love. Well, this particular portal is here to help us become a bigger embodiment of that. We're not just to become the embodiment of that, but we're to expand it. We're to grow it. Souls are here to grow. They're to grow the consciousness and the energy of themselves, right? To expand that and not diminish it. But there has been a lot that has been happening over the last decades, really, that has caused collectively the collective experience of souls to diminish. So a lot of souls had the energy of them and the consciousness of them has been diminishing here instead of expanding. And so in order to shift that and help us shift out of that and heal that so that we can get back in alignment with our mission for coming here, there are some things that are manifested collectively that we all kind of go through at once or at varying times, even if we're not all aware that we're actually going through this, that really help us with this. Now, it just so happens in the last 2 years, we have manifested something that we're all aware of that we're going through at once, and that's the pandemic. And this is why this particular portal is very, very important, because it is directly connected to the messages behind the pandemic. So no matter what is going on in this dimension, no matter what it looks like, no matter what it feels like, no matter how it presents itself to us, everything that happens here is one of two things. It is either the expression of love or the expression of source energy, the full expression of it, or it is an invitation to return to the energy and consciousness of source. So it's either the expression of source and the embodiment of source, or it is the invitation to return to it. And said another way, it's either the expression of love or it is an invitation to return to love. And so what I was shown initially when the pandemic started, and I really was going to do some videos around this before, but the climate around conversations around the pandemic has been really, really volatile. So I've been holding off on that for a minute till things kind of calm down a bit. But the sole invitation behind the pandemic was to return to love. And this really has a lot to do with what's happening today with the 22222. I hope I might have given more twos than were actually in that, but you get the message. There is a soul invitation behind that. And the soul invitation behind the pandemic was there were things we were holding in collective consciousness that were in resistance to how our soul's consciousness is. So this was keeping us from embodying our soul's consciousness and our soul's energy and expanding it. So we have been diminishing instead of expanding. And that diminishment has been at the root of all of our suffering and has caused many of us to manifest illness and disease. And so this was kind of a big wake-up call for us to help us be aware of what we're holding in our consciousness that's not allowing us to be the full essence of who we are, the full essence of our souls, and experience the blissful experience that we're here to experience. Because here's another aspect that this particular portal is really about. We are here not to, I'll say it another way, we are here to experience heaven in physical form. So we know what heaven is in spiritual form. Before we incarnated here, each of us is a soul being, and we're in the dimension of the non-physical, meaning we don't have physical form, so we have energetic spiritual form. We choose to come into the physical form, not to prove ourselves worthy of anything, not to learn lessons so we can graduate, but to experience the experience of being physical and experiencing heaven in physical form. Heaven is the dimension of unconditional love. It is where we experience the high frequency and the high vibrations of love, of the essence of who we are. It's where we feel loved and we feel the most loving. We are here to be that in physical form. But there's a lot of aspects of this particular incarnation where we forget who we are. We can go through a lot of things in this journey, a lot of experiences in our family, a lot of experiences in our cultures, in our environments that make us forget a bit who we are and forget and disconnect from the consciousness and the energy of who we are. Like this dimension is one of the dimensions where you can experience who you are not. On the other side, right, in the non-physical, you do not experience who you are not. You are solidly and wholly in who you are throughout that whole dimension. So one of the ways we have been experiencing who we are not is through fear-based beliefs, fear and shame-based beliefs mostly, but there are these two fear-based beliefs that the pandemic was manifested to help us become aware that we have been holding that have been really creating suffering for us in different ways. Each of the fears manifest different types of suffering, but it's suffering nonetheless. And this suffering is very interesting. I'm always amazed at how the universe creates in the physical, because it's very, when you learn how to see it, it's very obvious when you can look at it, but it's very beautiful how it comes together. But there are two different fears, and they are represented in the two different sides that we saw play out in the pandemic across the world. So there were two sides that kind of came up that seemed to be opposing each other. And there was the pro-vaccination side, and then there was the anti-vaccination side, right? Now, this isn't about who's right and who's wrong. This is about what the soul message is beneath each of these experiences. The invitation to come back to love that you are. So in the pro-vaccination side, one of the fears that is at the core of, at the underlining core of this, that we're being asked to examine, right? We're being asked to examine. It's coming up to the surface and causing suffering and conflict so that we can wake up to it and examine it and heal it and bring it back into alignment with how our soul views things, with how love views things. And that viewpoint that is held by the pro-vaccination side is, my body is not a safe place to be on its own. And this is not in alignment, it's a resistance to what the soul knows, because the soul creates the body from a space of perfection. The soul creates the body from a space of perfection, from a space of enjoyment, and from an absolute space of peace and safety. And so the body, our bodies are created from these energies and from these abilities. So the body is able to heal itself from anything. It is able to be well. It is able to be healthy, even if on the outside, everyone else is having a different experience. And this is kind of the invitation, right? Can you believe in your bodies? This is the invitation that is from the pandemic that is going to be heightened after today. This is what this quantum leap in this particular energy portal, this is what it's about. It's going to heighten this. So can you believe in your ability, your worthiness, and your deservedness, and your ability to be well, even in the external absence of it? Like, even if everybody else is unwell, can you believe that your body has the ability to be well, that you are safe in your own body, that your body is a healthy and loved thing? Like, this is the invitation that we're being drawn. Now, this doesn't mean that you may not want to ever get a vaccination again, right? But this means this is not about like what you choose to do for your health. This is about how in alignment you are going to be with what your soul believes. And because we've been holding this belief around the world, because we've been disconnected from this belief, and a lot of our medical systems have disconnected us from this belief. They've made us believe that our bodies are very fragile things, that they are very unhealthy things, and the only way we can experience health is if we have a lot of external help. And so it doesn't mean that you'll change, but that you will come in alignment with the truth of your soul. And when you're not in alignment with the truth of your soul, you manifest suffering in some way, in some form. So this is the invitation on this side. On the anti-vaccination side, the fear that is at the core that we're being asked to return back to love, back to how our soul thinks, is life is out to get me. We see this a lot, and with a lot of the conversations with many people who are, not all, but many people who are anti-vaccination, they believe that there's something in the vaccination that is going to take control of them, that they're going to lose control, that something's that the government or external forces are out to get them. And here's the thing about this. And again, I'm not here to talk about who's right and who's wrong. That's not the purpose of this at all. The purpose is to really understand what is at the core crux underneath all the things that happen. No matter what is happening, there's always a soul invitation, always. And the invitation is, can you become less filled with fear? Can you use this opportunity, use this challenge, use this experience to become less filled with fear and more filled with your soul? And how the soul thinks, what the soul knows, the consciousness of the soul is not that there's something out to get me, because one, the soul knows there's nothing outside of the self, that everything out here is a reflection of the internal consciousness and energy held by each of us, right? But the other part of this is the soul knows that life loves me, that I am loved, that there is nothing and no one against me but my own belief system and my own fears. So when we begin to re-embody the belief that life loves me, what ends up happening is, even if there is something out there even if that is exactly what they're trying to do. They're trying to take control of you. They're trying to take over. They are trying to put something in your body. When you hold a belief that is in alignment with your soul's consciousness, when you hold a belief that says life loves me, that this world is a safe place for me to be in, that may be happening for them, but it won't happen for you. Because again, what ends up happening in your reality can only be a mirrored reflection of what you're holding in your consciousness. And when you do not have a fear of they're out to get me in some type of way, and you have a belief that I am loved by life, and no matter what happens, only good will come out of it, then that is what you will experience. They could plan all of that for you, and somehow the one vaccine that has the damaging whatever it is to get you, it doesn't make it to you. Somehow the one that you, if you chose to get a vaccine, somehow the one that you would get would be the one that they forgot to put all that in, and it just works for you. Or somehow your body would completely release that from you. But this is the thing, this is what we're being asked. This portal that we're going into today is going to be, the energy is going to be moving so fast and so big for you to experience heaven on earth. But if you are holding these resistant beliefs, these two particularly, that my body is not a safe place to be, or life, or people are out to get me, right? And if you're resistant to these two soul beliefs, which is the soul knowings, which is my body is a healthy and well place to be, it's a safe place to be, and life loves me. When you're in resistance to that, because the energy is moving very fast, we're going to be manifesting bigger experiences of suffering. The faster energy moves, the faster it starts to move. If you have a block to it flowing through you, right? And so this energy is love energy, by the way. That's what source energy is. So when love energy is flowing into you and trying to flow through you into your life, if you have a block to it, if there's a belief in your system that is a block to that energy in some way, or if you're holding a vibration that is a block to that, that bangs up against your energy field, and it causes an immense amount of suffering. It causes dysfunction in your life, and it causes illness in the body. This is why this is really important, why the pandemic happened before this particular junction, was because we were trying to be invited to pay attention to what these fears were, and then do the healing work to restore them to the truth. Right? To the truth and to the soul's truth, so that this energy can flow through us and we can start manifesting more blissful experiences. And so those people who have done that, who have really started to work on those type of fears and bringing them back in more into the truth, you're going to see those people succeeding in ridiculous ways in the next year. This next 365 days from today, there's going to be it's going to look miraculous to people on the outside. There's going to be miraculous transformations for the people that are more soul embodied. For the people that are less soul embodied, like that they're not holding the vibrations of worthiness and safety and ease and freedom and bliss. If the people that are not holding those vibrations and are not holding beliefs that are more in alignment with their soul, you're just going to get big wake-up calls. You're going to get massive wake-up calls. As someone who manifested his own wake-up call many years ago, and my wake-up call was death itself, we're probably going to see more of this happening, like more of this. And there may be also more another collective thing that happened, like the pandemic. I don't know if I'm not getting I'm getting a feeling that it's not going to come in the physical body form. Like, so it's not going to be an illness. It's going to be something like something natural, like an external, like a tornado or something, like disaster-ish thing. But I'm getting that collectively, that's how it's going to happen. Individually, you're going to have things in your personal life that are going to be pressing the button of where you are not in alignment with love consciousness and love energy. And they're going to be highly inviting you to get back in alignment with that. And this is that portal. Like this is the, see, the thing about this experience is that the universe can't, it can force your hand, but it can't make you do something. You will always have a choice, but it can make things become very obvious and very painful for you if you don't make the choice towards love. And you want to always make the choice towards love, because love is the source of wellness. It is the source of well-being. Like all of your dreams, all of your goals, all of the things you're yearning for are on the other side of you becoming more love embodied, more soul embodied. They're on the other side of that. If you do that, all of those things will come, and they will come effortlessly. If you don't do that, then the universe will just continue to try and get your attention. And the more and more it tries to get your attention to make that choice to become more of who you are, it's through pain, and it gets more painful and more painful. And again, because the energy is speeding up, things gonna manifest faster. And so is the resistance. The resistance is going to manifest faster, and it's going to be bigger, meaning it's going to be more painful. So it's not going to pay to be out of alignment with love. It's just not going to. The energy has been moving too fast over these last few years. You probably noticed this. If you've noticed, some of the things you've been wanting have manifested way faster than it used to take years before. But also, if you've been out of alignment, you've noticed that the pain that comes from that is bigger. It's been in the last 2 years. You can't, like I've noticed for myself, I can't continue to think, if I think shameful thoughts about myself, or if I beat myself up, or if I hold fear in my consciousness for a long time, I can't hold that for a long time, right? Like, before, I might could go a few days or a week before I saw something major happen to me. Now it's like I have 2 days. If I don't shift it in 2 days, or get it and not completely shift it and heal it to where it's completely healed, but just make it a better, like feel better, think just a step better. I get some type of hard knock up against my wake up call head within 48 hours. And so it's going to get even faster than that now. We have entered into this energy time signature of the 2 2s, where it's going to be moving even faster. And that has both sides, right? When you're in alignment, things are going to manifest really fast, and life is going to feel really good. And you're really going to be a living example of heaven on earth. When you're not in alignment, things are going to manifest really fast, but they're going to be things that manifest that are a little bit more painful, that are going to try to get you to wake up and try to get yourself back into alignment. Just to get yourself back in alignment. Get back in alignment, all things are going to work out well. But this is kind of what this portal is really about. This portal is a deepening. We are taking a deeper quantum leap into the embodiment of love consciousness and love energy on the planet. Really great things are going to happen when we do that. And when we are resistant to that, that's when the shit is going to hit the fan in a bigger way than it has before. We just don't have the luxury anymore of being out of alignment and living out of alignment for a long time. We just don't. And so that's really what this is about. And I'll be doing offering a lot more outside of these updates, classes and courses and videos about how do you get yourself in alignment with love consciousness. That's just what the practice of self-love really is all about. Self-love is about getting yourself in alignment with the soul that you are, getting yourself in alignment with your soul's consciousness and your soul's energy, becoming an embodiment of your soul and nourishing the consciousness and the energy of your soul. I'll be doing a lot more about that, so don't worry about that. There's going to be online courses, I'm going to have live events, I'm going to have classes and all that to help you do that. But I just wanted to come and give this update. My guides have been really kind of nudging me to finally do this. But this is what's been going on. There's been a magnifying glass on 2 fears that are really in resistance to the essence of our souls. And those fears are, my body is not a safe place to be on its own. And that the world is out to get me in some type of way. And we're being invited to come back into alignment with love consciousness, which knows that my body was created by love itself, and my body is capable. It was created by source itself, God itself. It is the embodiment of God. And so my body can be healthy on its own. My body is safe in this world. I am safe in my body. And then the other one is that life loves me. I am a being that is loved. And because I am loved, I am safe. There is nothing and no one against me but my own beliefs. So I hope you enjoyed this update. I will be following up with some more, maybe next month or maybe the following month. But until then, I love you. Now go do the work to love yourself. Bye.